Occupational English Test. Listening Test. This test has 3 parts. In each part, you'll hear a number of different extracts. At the start of each extract, you'll hear this sound. You'll have time to read the questions before you hear each extract, and you'll hear each extract once only. Complete your answers as you listen. At the end of the test, you'll have 2 minutes to check your answers. Part A. In this part of the test, you'll hear 2 different extracts. In each extract, a health professional is talking to a patient. For questions 1 to 24, complete the notes with information that you hear. Now, look at the notes for Extract 1. Extract 1, questions 1 to 12. For questions 1 to 12, complete the notes with a word or short phrase that you hear. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes.
Doctor, I've been through quite a lot with the colectomy and chemotherapy back in June. It was really tough, almost didn't make it. Since then, I've been worried about the cancer coming back. We've got that colonoscopy coming up to keep an eye on things.
I understand your concerns, especially after such intensive treatments. How have you been feeling overall since your chemotherapy?
Well, physically, I'm feeling much better now. My appetite is back, and my weight has returned to what it was before the chemo. I've started biking again to build my strength back up. But my stools have changed, softer than usual, though no blood or anything alarming.
Good to hear about your recovery progress. The change in stool consistency might just be a part of your system adjusting post-surgery and treatment. It's good that there's no blood. How about other symptoms? Any fever or respiratory issues?
No fever or chills, thankfully. I do have this persistent cough, though, probably from smoking, which I'm trying hard to cut back on.
That's a good step, reducing smoking. It's crucial for your overall health, especially after what you've been through. Now, regarding your medications, it's important to discuss your compliance. You mentioned you haven't been taking your medications regularly?
Yes, that's right. I've been quite lax with the blood pressure meds and the cholesterol pills. I do take the eye drops for my glaucoma without fail, but the others, not so much.
It's vital to stick to your prescribed medications to manage your health effectively, especially your blood pressure and cholesterol. It will also benefit your long-term recovery and general health. Let's make sure you have a system in place to help with that.
I know. I need to be better about it. I've started using a pill holder now to keep track.
That's a good strategy. How about your recent checkups? Any issues there?
I have a cholesterol check scheduled soon, and I'm also seeing a podiatrist, plus the regular flushes for my portacath.
Keeping up with those appointments is great. It looks like you're getting back into the routine of managing your health.
Trying to, at least. My wife has been a huge help, making sure I eat well and all.
Support at home makes a big difference. Now, let's review some of your recent lab results and see how things are going internally. Your blood pressure today is a bit elevated at 142/88, and it's important we keep an eye on that given your history. Your heart rate and respiratory rates are stable, which is good. Your body mass index is also within a healthy range.
That sounds promising. What about the blood tests?
Your complete blood count looks good. Hemoglobin, white blood cells, and platelets are all within normal ranges. Kidney function with BUN and creatinine is stable, and your liver enzymes AST and AL are also normal. Your fasting glucose is well controlled. Importantly, your CEA levels, which help us monitor for potential cancer recurrence, are within normal limits.
That's relieving to hear, especially about the cancer markers.
Yes, it's very encouraging. Your ECG shows normal sinus rhythm with no significant issues, and your imaging studies, including the chest X-ray and abdominal ultrasound, didn't show any abnormalities. Overall, your clinical assessments are showing positive outcomes.
That's good. What's the next step then?
Continuing with your current recovery and health maintenance plan is key. This includes taking your medications regularly, continuing physical activity, and eating well. We'll go ahead with the scheduled colonoscopy to monitor for any changes in the colon and keep a close watch on your heart with the upcoming cardiology appointment.
Sounds like a plan. I appreciate your help and guidance through all this.
Of course, it's important to keep this momentum going and manage your health proactively. If you have any concerns or new symptoms, don't hesitate to contact us. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Extract 2, questions 13 to 24. For questions 13 to 24, complete the notes with a word or short phrase that you hear. You now have 30 seconds to look at the notes.
I've been really struggling lately. My anxiety is off the charts with the colonoscopy coming up. I keep thinking about my brother and his diagnosis, and it just sends my mind racing. I know I've been drinking more than I should. It's the only thing that seems to help with the nerves.
I understand how stressful this must be for you, especially considering your family history. It's important that we address both your anxiety and your physical symptoms comprehensively. Let's talk more about your symptoms. How has your sleep been affected?
My sleep is terrible, honestly. Even with the medications, I'm either tossing and turning, or I wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. The restlessness doesn't help either. My legs just won't stay still.
And the pain in your thigh, how would you describe it? Has there been any change in the intensity or frequency?
The pain is sharp, and sometimes it feels like electric shocks going through my leg. It's been getting worse. Just last week, I had to stop halfway while walking to the store because the pain hit me so suddenly. I've noticed it's triggered by certain movements, or even when I'm just trying to relax.
It sounds very challenging. You mentioned using albuterol for breathing difficulties. Can you tell me more about those episodes?
They're sporadic, maybe once or twice a month. I feel this sudden tightness in my chest and start wheezing. The inhaler helps, but I never really thought it was asthma since it happens so rarely.
I see. And with your recent episodes of chest pain, were there any activities or events that seemed to trigger them?
They mostly come on suddenly. I notice they happen more often when I'm stressed or if I've had a few drinks. I'm really worried there's something more serious going on, given my symptoms and my family's health history.
That's a valid concern, and we're taking all the right steps to understand what's happening. Have you been able to follow your prescribed medication regimen consistently?
I try to, but some days I'm just not on top of it, especially with everything going on. I know I should be better about it.
It's okay. It's important to acknowledge these challenges. We're here to help you through this. Have you found anything that helps with your anxiety or pain that doesn't involve drinking?
Not really. Nothing seems to help the way a drink does. I used to run, and that helped a bit with stress, but with the leg pain, I just haven't been able to keep it up.
Let's see how we can support you better. For now, I'll go over the results from your recent tests and then we can discuss the next steps. Your blood pressure today is a bit elevated at 104 to 85 mmHg, which is likely due to your current stress levels. Your pulse is normal at 78 beats per minute, and your respiratory rate is also normal. The blood tests, including your CBC, are within normal limits, which is good. Your liver and kidney functions are also stable, but we'll keep an eye on them, especially considering your increase in alcohol consumption. We have to find an alternative going forward.
I appreciate that. I'm just worried about all of this coming together. The pain, the anxiety, the upcoming tests.
Of course, it's a lot to manage. Here's what we'll do. I want to focus on optimizing your medication to better control your anxiety and pain. We also need to revisit your sleep medication to see if adjustments are needed there to help you sleep better. Regarding your anxiety, I'll refer you to our counselor to develop some coping strategies specifically for medical procedures. And finally, we'll schedule a follow-up after your colonoscopy to discuss the results and next steps.
That sounds like a plan. Thank you for helping me through this. It means a lot to have support.
You're welcome. It's important to us that you feel supported and informed every step of the way. We'll work together to get through this.